Let's talk some sports, baby.
And remember, make tomorrow better than today and make today better than yesterday. And you know what we gonna do. We gonna holler at you until next time, baby.
Well, another blowout this weekend. The Pittsburgh Steelers trounced division rival Cleveland 38-7. It was all Steelers through most of the game, taking a 24-7 lead at halftime and shutting the Browns out in the second. James Conner had a 100-yard day, and a talented Pittsburgh wide receiver core did work as well. And, of course, Big Ben tied it all together with an efficient performance. On the flip side, Baker Mayfield threw 2 picks, posted a 5.5 QBR, and got pulled for an injury in the second half. It's a big win for Pittsburgh, solidifying them as a contender, and as of only one of 3 unbeaten teams, and it's a gut punch for Cleveland looking to ascend to the next level. So, Jay, how good is this Pittsburgh team, and what do you make of the Browns after this smacking?
I got a question first. What was the injury?
He did have a rib thing they pulled him out for. It was partially because he was playing like trash and partially because he was slightly banged up a little bit.
What? They slid an injury in there? Oh.
That's what they're saying. I'm just the messenger here.
I didn't know that.
It was one of those that kind of came out after the game. So, you know.
Okay.
I didn't know that either.
I thought, I mean, that may be. I'm not saying he didn't have a rib injury. I think a lot of guys might have injuries as well, but I think he just got benched. I'm gonna just say that. Let's start with. Let me start with Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh's really good. You mentioned ain't but 3 undefeated teams left. I think if you have taken bets if you had 3 undefeated teams, you probably wouldn't have Pittsburgh on there. You probably have Baltimore and Kansas City. And maybe Seattle, maybe New Orleans. But Pittsburgh, the only question I really had about Pittsburgh was Big Ben. I don't think we kind of knew what to expect coming off the injury at that age, how he would look. He looks pretty good. And the skill position guys he has, they got some real weaponry. James Conner, that was a big time performance he had on Sunday, 2400. And I maintain, I think guys like Benny Snell, he can be effective for you coming in there. Jalen Samuels, a good pass receiving back. Juju Smith-Schuster, not a big game, not a real big game for him on Sunday. But James Washington, I think he's pretty good, 4 for 68. And the rookie from Notre Dame, Chase Claypool, he's already getting a lot of buzz, particularly off his performance the week before when he had 4 touchdowns. Had another rushing touchdown this game. He looks like he's got some star written on him. So we'll see how he continues to progress. No Deontay Johnson in this game. He's another weapon for him. They didn't have David DeCastro. We mentioned that on Friday. Apparently no problem because they did, generally speaking, they did pretty much whatever they wanted to do. But defensively, I think, is what we kind of where we thought they would make their money. We all know, I think Mike Tomlin for much of this decade, he's kind of been maligned on the defense, most of the time the back end of it. From defensive line all the way back to the safeties, it doesn't appear like they have a weakness right now. This may be one of the best defenses they've had in this century. And you go up, when you look at what they can do on passing downs, when you can have Bud Dupree and T.J. Watt coming off the edges and then have Stephon Tuitt and Cameron Hayward pushing the pocket, doesn't get much better than that. When you have those 4 guys and you can just play coverage behind that because those dudes are so elite rushing passers, makes it's a great luxury for a defensive coordinator to have that. And then Minkah Fitzpatrick continues to be a huge story and a huge plus ever since they acquired him from Miami. His pick 6, his pick 6 really got the ball rolling in this game. And I mean, what I thought was going to be Cleveland's best chance to me coming in this game, what they had to do, they had to be strong up front offensively, and they had to run the ball. And they didn't run the ball. So if you're not going to run the ball, I don't think Baker Mayfield's the guy that can just drop back a million to 40 plus times and win. And generally speaking, the best I've seen Baker Mayfield play, it seems like any decent play he makes, as far as I can tell, generally speaking, is off a play action bootleg. He goes play action bootleg, and he's looking real sweet, completing them little sweet flat passes on the run where the guy's wide open, there's no one near him, and next thing, 20-yard gain, he did good that time. It's not good right now. The dude got benched and like it's gonna. I don't know. I think we all thought this would be a make or break year for Baker Mayfield. Cleveland's pretty good around him. They were on a 4-game winning streak coming this game. This is the second time. This is their second loss, both against teams within the division that they're going to have to get by at some point if they want to do anything. And they're not there yet. And I think the quarterback position is what's holding them back right now. And also Nick Chubb not in this game. That's a big deal, even though I'm not sure if he would have been enough to make up for the difference.
Let me start off by, issuing an apology to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I should have put a little more respect on your name. I thought Cleveland was going to, take that step forward. Instead, they broke their leg and they never went anywhere. This Steelers team is for real. They for real. Like, it's no other way I could put it. Because if I try to point at the defense, it's the best defense in the NFL, and I don't even think it's close. By far the best defense. And then I look at the offense, like Jay said, Big Ben is the only one you thinking, he getting old, he out here drinking 6-packs before the game. You thinking, do he really care? And then you see he's getting the job done, more than serviceable as the quarterback calling these plays. Look, the Pittsburgh Steelers going to be one hell of a out. I don't know. I'm looking at a lot of teams in the AFC. Even I'm just looking in the division, the Ravens. Ravens going to have a hard time playing their style of offense against this defense. Like that Lamar Jackson, he struggled. If he don't have the lead, he struggled. And I think this team going to be ready to put it on him. And then I look at the other, I think this defense can give Patrick Mahomes fits and they all-star crew. This is an elite level defense. But let me talk about these I'm going to let you down Browns. Stefanski, I'm not even going to get on to you. I think you did a fantastic job. I think you came in and did about as much as we asked you to do. Mayfield, don't worry about it. If they haven't declined that 5th-year option, it's going to get declined. And listen, I don't know where the Browns go. I guess the quarterback carousel continue. They thought this was their guy to take them into the future. Absolutely not. Mayfield, I had so much promise for you. But Beckham, 2 receptions for 17 yards. What are we doing here? Landry, three receptions for 40 yards. I want to know what the excuse is for Mayfield. I mean, it ain't inexperienced coaching. It's not, the game plan. All the bull crap that the Dallas Cowboys saying about their coaching, I don't think that's going to fly for the Cleveland Brown coaching staff. Baker Mayfield just not good. It's time to go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. He's just not good. People want to give me, it's too many stars and you got to do this and the defense is not good. The offense is not good either.
There's too much talent.
Like I done heard he's so many guys, he can't share the ball. You gotta throw it to this guy, he want his touches, all this bull crap. Look, Baker Mayfield is just not good. And you got Sam Darnold out here losing his life down there with the Jets. And you could have had him. Instead, you got Baker Mayfield. And the only thing he's good is for those fantastic 5-star progressive commercials. And listen, this ain't going to cut it. With that said, this Pittsburgh team is outstanding. What do you make after the Browns did? Nothing. I don't make nothing. I would say this, though. The Browns, I I know they will have to play the Steelers again, but if you actually look at their schedule, it's not like they run into some juggernauts on the defensive side of the ball like the Steelers again. So they'll win some games. But like Jay always say, and this is always true, these are the teams you're going to play in the postseason. So if you want to get to the postseason, you got to actually beat these teams to get into the postseason. Then you got to be ready to play them once you get in the postseason. And right now, this team ain't beating nobody. They ain't beating nobody of any significance. Like, you can go ahead and put this team in rice because somebody just dropped them in water. Go and soak them up. The Browns, they're done. Holla at your boy, and I'm out.
Yeah, this is obviously, we talked about this game on Friday, and the big storyline was, okay, this both the teams have beat up some questionable teams. Which one's really that good and which one's really isn't? And to probably no one's surprise, it turned out the Browns were a disappointment. Wow. It's interesting is that the Browns offenses look great against average or below average defenses. I mean, they torch they put 35 on the Bengals, 34 on the Redskins, 49 on the Cowboys, 32 on the Colts. The Colts probably the only one of those that have any kind of decent defense. But my God, 76-13 against the AFC North, against the Steelers and the Ravens combined. That's pretty troubling. Like y'all said, you got to beat these teams in your division. And, when you look at it, you would say, okay, well, it must just be Mayfield. But what do the Steelers and the Ravens have in common? They blitz a lot, and their defenses are really good. They have really good pass rushers, right? So the Browns just crumble when they're playing against these really good pass rush teams, and part of that is your quarterback. Mayfield was terrible on third downs. He was 2 of 7 for 5 yards with a sack and 2 picks. Against the blitz, he only completed 2 of 6 passes for 11 yards with a pick and 3 more sacks. And what's interesting is the Cleveland offensive line actually came into this game ranked second in pass block win rate, for their, for the ratings. So the offensive line isn't trash, but they do seem to fall apart against pretty good teams. And I guess the Browns are going to turn into one of these teams that just beat up the bad ones. Like, they're going to be good enough to do that. Because like you said, Drink, you look at their schedule going on the road. I mean, they're 4-2. It's not like they're 1-9 or something. They get the Bengals, the Raiders, Texans, Eagles, Jaguars. Well, my God, that should be 4 out of 5 wins with a blindfold on. Or, well, maybe, we'll see if the Eagles turn it around. But you know what I mean? Like you said, they're going to get it turned around. While the Steelers, they get the Titans and the Ravens both on the road the next 2 weeks. So good luck with that. Devin Bush being out. But, man, the Steelers are really good. Like you said, Jay said, I think we knew they were going to be pretty good. We knew that defense was set, and they were bringing pretty much everybody back. But to see Big Ben come back in the year that he's in and just turn in the performances, and even Sunday, you could say, well, he wasn't amazing, but he didn't have to be. He did what he had to do to win the game, and obviously that wasn't much because the Browns decided they'd score 7 points. But bottom line with the Steelers is I think that you're seeing a team that's come all together. You have the coaching, you have the defense, you have weapons on offense. And at this point, you would think that this team could make a serious run at not only the NFC North, but deep into the playoffs. While the Browns, man, I mean, really, it's just going to come down to execution. I mean, at some point, you got to show up against a good team and beat them. And honestly, with Baker Mayfield, I'm trying to think of the last time Baker Mayfield tore up a good team, like a good defense. And I can't think of it, and if that's the line is, if you can't do that, then at what point do you cut the tie? I mean, I would, first overall pick and all that, but that decision for them, it might be coming sooner than later, because you look at the rest of this NFC North, the Ravens, the Steelers are good, and we know the Bengals are going to get it going eventually with Joe Burrow. That's going to leave Cleveland in a bad spot here soon.
And I don't remember, to add to that point, when's the last time we looked at Baker Mayfield and said, oh, yeah, he is definitely the reason Cleveland won that game. I mean, they and this goes back to what I said. Cleveland, especially offensively right now, defensively they still got to figure out how to harness some of that talent, I think. But offensively, and you said it, even the offensive line. I mean, we want to point at them sometimes. They brought in Conklin, they got Batonio, they drafted Jedrick Wills, so they making stride. They at least putting in the effort. You would think that, and the metrics would say they've improved. It didn't look like they were on Sunday, but all these weapons. I mean, you pay Hooper an absurd amount of money. You got Landry, you got Beckham, you got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. How much more do you need? It's almost the same thing with Dak.
The only team I can think of that's even close is like the Buccaneers as far as just dudes everywhere talent-wise. But, I mean, again, if if I put, Patrick Mahomes on this team, my God, they'd be utterly unstoppable. So it's just, at some point, the Bucs got to stop with Mayfield, and it just doesn't appear that that's going to end well.